a break to have. I'm having cookie dough. Aunty Obi is having a yummy waffle, chocolate waffle, and Mama is having chocolate dough as well. So. Next quote. It's the love that reminds you to choose wisely, to love deeply, but to never love recklessly. And the reflection question is, when have I confused deep love with reckless love? And how can I tell the difference now? So first question is to you, Mama. What has self-love come to mean to you in your 70s? Self-love.
I thought you were talking about reckless.
You want to talk about reckless?
No, you did say something about
something else.
Yeah, and I just want to, all I have to say is I've never given that opportunity to reckless love. I've always been cautious about that. So,
and reckless love does not necessarily mean in the romantic sense. It could be someone who's you allowed to take advantage of you. So.
Oh, really?
a friend, for example, who takes the piss.
Yeah, that's true. Same-sex friend.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah.
That has happened. I'm sure it's happened to everybody. And the only thing is that you just say to yourself, next time I'll be more careful. That's it. And try to remember, especially if it's that particular friend that comes along.
Yes.
You just, they start, you just think, I've heard this before. And you don't need to quarrel.
No,
you don't quarrel about it,
no.
But make a diplomatic, give a diplomatic answer, refusal, or whatever it is.
So, Auntie says here, and this is directed at you, was there a point in your life when you realized that loving deeply doesn't have to mean losing yourself? I think that's actually what you just said.
Yeah, what I've just said. What I've just said. I'm not... Excuse me, I'm not a quarrelsome type of person, so I try as much. I try to be diplomatic in my refusal. And leave it at that.
So you make it sound nice.
Yes,
or
I try.
Now gently.
I do try that, but
do you ever have to be forceful for any reason? Because sometimes you have to put your foot down.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I think about a recent a friendship that I cut off. I wasn't forceful, but I just stuck my grounds, because the thing was not, it wasn't helpful, It was definitely, when I say helpful, I don't mean financial, like you just said, it's emotional or, my stability, my mental stability. I didn't need that kind of hassle. So you can cut them off diplomatically. Sometimes you have to reinforce that by not answering the phone or whatever.
And then they get the message.
Yeah, eventually.
What about you, Mama? Any similar, dealing with all those? So now, when you're sitting at home in Oba, dealing with all these village people, who want to grab. You know how it is, what it's like. People who maybe are, should I say, less fortunate, but then they want to, they feel entitled to anything you have, and they don't care if they're going to drain you. They don't even understand whether or not you have it. So what about those kind of situations?
With such people, like Obi said, diplomatically, I put them off, and I tell them that I don't work. I'm not active anymore.
You're retired.
I'm retired, and so they should be giving me, and not me, giving. So I try to be diplomatic about it. Some of them, of course, don't.
They don't get the message.
Don't get the message.
They're thick-skinned.
Yeah, they are.
Well, you just have to keep on reinforcing it.
Yes, so I keep on reinforcing it.
Yes.
And I think with some of them, they've learned. They've realized, that they can't do that each time anytime they come. So, that's how I've managed them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the quote is, love is not measured by how loudly it shouts, but by how steadily it stands. And the reflection question is, what steady love has anchored me through life's loudest storms? Even I have to think about this one myself. Mhm. So it says, what truths about love, peace, or forgiveness have you embraced with age? I think similar to what you said in the previous section, actually.
Yeah.
And
You know.
the question of forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get older, you get to realize that some of these things, like quarrels, betrayals, or whatever, you can forgive and not forget.
That's
You have to
exactly.
be cautious as well. You need to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, because you have to protect
You have to
yourself.
protect yourself, yes. But it's good to forgive and to let go.
Mhm.
Because when you let go, it's off your mind,
Exactly.
And in some cases, you can leave the revenge to God. Yes,
Exactly.
that's my own way of going about it. And whatever happens in, those circumstances, just do the right thing. What you think is the correct thing to do, you do it. If the person needs genuine help, you just need to know how to go about it.
Okay.
Forgive, yes.
So this question says, if you could write a letter to your younger self about love, what would it say?
Well, I think we've touched on all the things, being self-reflective and thinking of yourself. You've got to protect yourself. I mean, even if it's a member of your family, you do tend to be much more patient. But after a while, even a member of your family can be self-destructive towards your life. So I don't mean physical life, but your emotional life. And so you have to protect yourself always. So what was that?
Yeah. If you had to write a letter to your younger self about love.
Yes, being aware, being careful, thinking of yourself. It's not selfish to think of yourself.
No, it's not. Yes. Yeah. I think that's a favorite concept of mine, actually. I think people tend to forget. People think self-love is selfish.
No.
But it's not.
Yeah, you have to look after yourself because, for instance, if you have small children and they're caught up in a lot of palaver, it affects them. So sometimes you have to drag yourself everywhere away. And that is, first of all, you have to love yourself and realize that you deserve better.
I agree with that.
The love that spans generations is not always spoken, but is always felt. That is unshakable. The question is, self-reflection question, what love legacies have I inherited and what do I want to pass on? So to you, I say, to Mama and to Aunty Obi, what love lessons do you want your children and grandchildren to carry? And how do you hope your way of loving will be remembered? I wish Inky were here now. She'd be able to answer that.
Well, that would be maybe from her eyes.
Yes.
Maybe my eyes would be different.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Because love has different perceptions.
Yeah.
But yet,
I mean, I think that my parents, as I said before, taught us to love people regardless of their color or culture. To love the world, to appreciate the world, and I would like my children and grandchildren to continue in that way. And my grandchildren, they do come from different parts of the world. I have a grandson who is half Scottish. Sorry, not half Scottish, half a quarter Scottish. A quarter Welsh, a quarter Swedish, a quarter.
Wow, goodness, that.
Yeah. And granddaughters who are half, did I say? Yes, half Scottish, and 2 grandsons who are half English. So,
That's amazing.
yeah.
And you have an interesting granddaughter as well.
Yes, I have. Yes, my granddaughter is half. Let's say half. A quarter Asian,
Okay.
Filipino,
Oh, wow.
and a quarter Irish,
Mhm.
and quarter Nigerian and quarter English. So there's a mixture. And we also have Zimbabwe too.
Yes.
Some Zimbabwe blood in the family as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing my parents also taught us is that we should also respect people irrespective of their status in life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
You know.
Isn't it? Yes.
And I've tried to pass that on. I mean, if you think about it, if the lawyers go on strike, we really feel it, but dustbin go on strike immediately.
Immediately you feel that.
Immediately. I mean, look what's happening in Birmingham.
Exactly.
The dustbin men on strike.
Yeah, Amy couldn't wait to come home because all their bins are full
Yeah.
and littered in the streets.
And there are rats, you know,
Yes, and all that.
rats chasing the bin men.
Yes, yes.
Imagine.
So that's one thing that stands out for me, apart from all the other things you mentioned as well. That's the particular one about status. We should always make sure we treat people with respect, irrespective of where they work, what they do, and all that.
Position.
Yes.
The quote is, the greatest love story of your life is not the one someone else writes for you. It's the one you write for yourself. And the self-reflection question is, what chapter am I writing in my own love story, and am I proud of it? So it's self-reflection. So I suppose this is the end.
Yeah.
So it's imparting wisdom now. So any last thoughts?
Well, I think we more or less covered everything. I mean, we've spoken about self-reflection. Spoken about, being, for instance, I like to think that my grandchildren will say that I was always there for them, and yeah.
What about you, Nana?
It's like Obi said, that I've always been there for them, and that the love we have, because many people say that, my own family, myself and my siblings, that we're very close, and I've tried to impart that to my own children and grandchildren. So I hope that continues, that they love each other.
So we've talked about the love that lasts, how self-love makes love unshakable. And we've had Mama and we've had Aunty Obi here. We've talked about love in terms of not just the romantic aspect. We've talked about the fact that love is also personal, it's intentional, and it's unshakable. So I think we're going to end this by cutting a cake for her.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, beautiful.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
Ooh, thank you. So do I blow it out?
You have to make a wish
Yes.
and blow out your candle.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. That looks so cute. I like the strawberry on. Yeah, and the grape.
Yeah, so cute. On that note, we'll finish here. And thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this little episode of Chronicles of Unshakable Truths. I shall see you another time. But before I leave, I will leave you with my motto. Unshakable is a state of mind. Take your state of mind with you everywhere you go. be unshakable, be in truth with yourself, love yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Yes,
Aunty Obi.
well, it's been lovely
Yes.
being here with you all.
Yes.
And I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, wasn't that scary as we thought it was going to be?
No.